Alrighty, everybody, welcome. My name is Hector Espinoza. Today we're going to be talking about mental illness. Of course, mental illness is a very big thing in society nowadays. Of course, with anxiety and depression, with the pandemic, it doesn't really help being inside the house all the time, dealing with these certain issues. Now, as we can see, mental illness can happen to anybody. Could be family members such as brother, sister, cousin. It could be someone that's really close to you, such as your best friend. Sometimes it just could be somebody that we may not know, somebody that walks by us every single day, maybe having that internal conflict. So, society has a stigma that really prevents a person from getting that help and support that they need. So we really need to work on these things, especially with seeking help. And so today I'm going to talk about three things. First thing that's going to be is our statistics. Statistics really build that foundation that we need to have the information in our head. Number two is going to be our symptoms. Symptoms really show what we can see in a person, such as their mood changes, different day-to-day life. Lastly, we're going to talk about is our health and support. Health and support can really affect a person on their day-to-day life and can really help them progress and become better than what they were going through before. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is our statistics. So statistics are one of our main things, like I said, that helps build that foundation in order to have that knowledge. So according to a survey that was done by the Institution of Health Motives and Evaluations, 792 million people suffer from a mental illness. Now, 1 out of every 10 people has a mental illness. Given that maybe you have a crowd of 50 people, 5 people have a mental illness. That's actually it's a big percentage. That's 10% of that group that may be suffering from anxiety, Alzheimer's, depression, anything in the book. For those that do not know what the anxiety is a disorder that is characterized by worry or anxiety and can really affect a person's day-to-day life. Now, anxiety actually really affects people. It affects 284 million people, which is a very big chunk. Of course, population's into the billions, but it's still a big chunk regardless of how many it is. It still affects a person. Next would be our depression. Depression is characterized, for those who may not know, as a very harming thing to a person's self-esteem. It can really take away from their lack of focus. Sometimes it can take away from their school, their jobs, even their daily life. It could affect others around them. Now, depression, of course, affects about 264 million people roughly. Of course, this is from the survey that was conducted in 2017. A recent survey wasn't that helpful. It didn't really give me anxiety, depression, and the many things that I found in that survey, so that's why I used it. Of course, the numbers can be very different from back then. Now, as far as symptoms are probably the biggest things I would worry about, of course. This was done by the Asian Journal of Nursing, conducted by Marlon Augustine, very, very great writer. Read the whole article, many authors, which contributed a ton in gaining so much knowledge. So anxiety can result in panic attacks. It can result in tons of pressure that is put on the average human, which is not really healthy for you. Next would be the drop of functioning in our school and jobs, which really affects us. It could push us to lose our job. It could push us to just drop out of school. It can affect us really deeply. So we just need to work on those things. It could make it difficult for us to perform certain tasks. Next would be depression. Depression is another one of the big things. Of course, of the COVID pandemic, it really affects a person. So we really want to look at this. Now, agitation and irritation are two very big things. They may sound the same, but they're two characteristics that we really want to look at. Now, of course, there could be people that don't show these symptoms out in person, but some people may have that internal conflict that may be causing just a lot of crying. Maybe they are reaching out to best friends, and best friends are just kind of doing as much as they can, but it may not help them. That's why we're going to our health and support. Now, for our health and support, we're looking at a lot of things. We're looking at maybe counseling, could be changing things in our life. As for the DPP, the Diabetes Prevention Program, really helps us with mental issues such as the psychology-based components. Psychologists recommend 2 to 3 sessions to track our progress, and of course the DPP modified the in-person practical ways for our healthy lifestyle. Lastly, research can really help us understand what someone is going through deep inside of them, on the inside and the outside. So that's why these 3-point statistics, symptoms, and help and support really affect us. Talk to someone close to you to gain that help and support. And thank you for your time. Remember that helping someone is the best way that you can show that you care. Alrighty, everybody, have a wonderful day.